Hello everyone, I'm Captain Logan.
And I'm Eric.
And today we're going to tell you how we felt about the Lego Batman movie. Eric, my second or third most anticipated movie of the year. It's already here. It's February. And we already have...
Well, it has to be your most. It's got Velociraptors.
You know what?
No other movie this year can make that claim.
You know what? It's true, and that's nuts, because that's not even why I went to see this. And I love Velociraptors.
I don't think you even knew Velociraptors were in this film.
I didn't. 6 seconds in, we've already spoiled the thing. I wouldn't have brought up. But that's fine. It's true there are Velociraptors. We won't tell you why or where they are. But it's a Lego thing. You can't be that surprised that there's random things like Velociraptors in this movie. Anyway, I cheated today. Usually how we felt about is supposed to be, we go see a movie, we give you our immediate reaction. That will be true for Eric. I've actually seen it
been in a coma for 2 days.
Today.
We were supposed to see it last night.
We were,
and
I already had plans to take my family, and this was the only time Eric had this weekend because he's going to be working all weekend long. So I also should real fast mention that we have
those coma days.
A number of other how we felt about and other videos to do, and please excuse the long delay on Marvel Mania. We're going to do everything we can next week to catch up on those. We're going to try to have some days where we double up on those. But this week has been insane. This has been just an absolute disaster this week.
We still got Justice League Dark.
We both got really sick this week, and that's why I sound like
the whole house got sick this week.
Yeah, so it's been a rough week. We've got Justice League Dark to do. We've got Legion to do. We've got
John Wick
2 to do, which probably can't happen until Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday now.
Depending on when my next day off is.
So anyway, we want to apologize for the lack of output. This was the worst week this possibly could have happened to us. We had plans to make a bazillion videos, and anyway, so but we have somehow or rather found a moment to do this at 2 in the morning. So, let's go ahead and jump into it, shall we? It's Lego Batman. It's the same version of Batman from the Lego movie. It is a spin-off from that before it's a sequel to the Lego movie.
Which I appreciated.
I did too. No references at all. To the events of that movie. No mentions of Wildstyle.
Because why would there be when you're, just playing pretend? If we're assuming that that's still the universe?
Yeah, and we'll talk about that in the spoiler cast on Sunday, because I have a theory about that.
Okay.
But I'll wait on that. But anyway, it is set very much in the same world, and, I mean, remember, that was kind of a multiverse.
He does mention being a master builder.
Yeah, the terminology is all still there, but but what I mean is, there's no mentions of Emmett or Wildstyle or any of the things that happened in that movie. Nothing about the Craggle, or
perhaps this is a prequel,
or the kid that has created everything. I don't think that's possible, because the Batman in the Lego movie was clearly the Batman that has not learned this lesson yet.
That's true.
He has been through a relationship with Wildstyle. I almost would have. The one thing I kind of would have liked would have been one mention of a breakup, and that's part of why he's hung up on being a loner and afraid of family and stuff.
Oh yeah.
I think that would have been a nice thing to throw in there, but I was okay without it. What is held over from the Lego movie that it needs, and that I'm really glad that it has, is all of the visual trappings. The internal logic, such as it is all still there and the same. We still have people making noises with their mouths to make all the the sound effects and things. And you can tell very much that there is still a kid with his or her hands behind all of this, and that it's, whether or not it's the same kid, I'm not sure, and that even though this time around I think it's okay to say we don't actually see that person. But anyway,
anti-spoilers.
Yeah, and I didn't really expect that, but
I didn't either.
Okay, so no spoilers now. So you know about Velociraptors, and that
there is not a kid at the end. Will Ferrell does not come down the stairs.
There is
spoilers for the Lego movie.
There is an almost as cool big surprise in the second going into the third act, though. I'll say that. Anyway, Eric, go and flip your board and let's find out how you felt about the Lego Batman movie. Go ahead.
Lego Batman made me feel like Batman, and as we all know, I draw the best bat symbol that anyone can draw.
It's bigger than mine. You know what? That's better than they have been. No, just keep practicing. Because every time we review something,
I just have so much space.
Okay, so it's bigger. Okay, so I'll just get you like a bunch of.
Somehow this ear is always small, and I started with the ears, so that wouldn't happen.
Just get you some poster board, put it on a wall. If you can draw this big, maybe you'll have an amazing bat symbol. Anyway, okay, so
I didn't know what to write. I will say, because you brought it up, I don't think it's as good as the Lego Movie. I don't think it's as tight. I don't think the message is as profound. But I think it's really good.
I don't think it is until you look at it in comparison to the Lego Movie. Then I think it's brilliant.
You mean as like an addition to the Lego Movie?
As a companion piece, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. But no, I thought it was great. It felt like
it is the reverse character arc, and that's really cool.
Of Emmett.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's cool. But it felt like the people that made this movie really love Batman.
Yeah,
and like there's some deep pulls, and like there's picks that are.
You mean for characters?
Yeah, there's like some of the villain characters. Like some of them are obvious of like, let's find stupid characters, like Crazy Quote, Calendar Man, things like that. Condiment King, sure. But then there's things like Tarantula, and I was like, well, it's not like a weird obscure character. I mean, it is an obscure character, kind of, but like she came in the 2000s. Like that's like you have to know who that is to pick her.
Yeah, so definitely.
But there's a lot of stuff like that where I just thought like. People work on this No Batman, which makes me think that the fact that Barbara Gordon looks exactly like Jezebel Jet is intentional. Right down to when she comes out, the dress she's wearing, the gloves go up to here, and they're black, which is the outfit she's wearing in R.I.P. when she reveals that she's part of the Black Glove.
I didn't pick up on that. I thought, okay, that it's hard to imagine that wouldn't be intentional, but she also looks just like Rosario Dawson.
But it's the red hair. The red hair is the big thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But like, and I know this sounds stupid because it's a minifig, but in the face, like, I've watched enough of the Marvel Netflix shows now to be like, no, that's like Lego Rosario Dawson.
Yeah.
And she's great.
No, she is. She's always great. She's great in everything.
I love how straight she plays it.
Yeah.
She's not putting on a voice.
And you know what's weird?
It's really great.
I won't talk about that here.
Okay, but can I say real quick, just while we're there, that like this is kind of an inspired version of Barbara Gordon?
Yes,
it's
and what I was going to say,
real different.
And what I was going to say was going to build off that, but it's a little spoilery.
Yeah, we can talk about that Sunday.
Yeah. But yeah, like I don't know what I have to say in microcosm. I really like this movie.
You laughed a lot. That's what it's for.
I laughed a lot. It's really funny. More Bane.
Oh my god!
Every time. There's some real deep pull references in this movie that I really appreciate. Not all Batman. There was one I'm glad you point out because I didn't catch and I thought it was great. There's an amazing Gremlins joke. It's a lot like the Lego Movie where I'm like, well, there's just so much stuff, and like it's if I have any actual complaint with the movie, it's that I felt like too much of the beginning is given away in the trailer. Like when he gets back to the Batcave,
but that's not a problem with the movie.
That's not a problem with the movie, but like
no, I didn't like that either.
Like when he gets back to the Batcave, I'm like, yeah, I've seen this. Yeah, I've seen this. Like it's funny, but I've seen this. That watching the microwave gag is way less funny after I've seen that 4 times in the trailer. But other than that, and that's not the movie's fault. But other than that, it's great. I highly recommend going to see it, whether you like Batman or Legos or good writing or jokes.
Yeah, it's really accessible.
Mm-hmm.
Like the way it's been advertised, and I think it's being advertised well enough that way. But it very much, and it is this, very much looks like a thing for Batman fans. But
and it is
also a thing for pop culture fans.
Yes.
And it's of course a really good movie to take your kids to, and it's everything the Lego Movie did to be a big accessible thing that kind of the whole country came together for is kind of here,
and not too much.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like we had.
I don't mean that it's the same story again.
Well, no. What I mean is,
I will say this though: there are a couple of repeated jokes from the Lego Movie that I could have done without.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know we needed as many songs. Like Batman song was really funny in that first one. I don't know if we needed as many songs as we got.
I was fine with all that.
Okay. But no, and I think they do a good job of
They're trying to make that like a major part of his character, to the point where when Alfred sums him up at the beginning, that's in the list.
Oh,
so
is
he's
it?
gotta have some songs. Yeah.
Okay.
That's one of the big, and he even like at the end he even sums himself up with that when he says like metal rapper and all of that. Yeah, it's just he defines himself by that.
But I think they did a good job of not doing too much of like other pop culture stuff. Like, I think there was a good balance. Like, it never felt like it stopped being a Batman movie.
Yeah.
As we got, like, more pop culture-y stuff. I don't know. It just... I liked it.
Eric, this movie made me feel like Batman can always be reinvented in fresh new ways, even if everything feels like it's been done before. There are so many counterintuitive things, because it's, again, a kid playing with action figures. This is either, again, a different kid...
The smartest child on the planet.
That's it. This is, yeah. This is
he
either...
makes some legal things that no child should understand.
But I felt that way with the Lego movie, and it's possible that now his dad is helping him. But
he could be a lawyer. We don't.
But I don't think it's yeah, because he just goes to, well, you business. But probably not lawyer stuff. Probably.
Would he know?
Well, yeah, he probably wouldn't.
It's just work. I don't know.
No, it could be that. No,
yeah.
You're absolutely right. Sure. Anyway, I just want to take that opportunity to say business. But I don't think it's the same kid.
You don't think so?
No, I don't. And again, I'll get into why on Sunday. But this is because it's a kid playing with action figures, playing with Legos. It's of course like a really different Batman world that's drawing from everything. And I mean, like, I'm gonna do what I did with the Lego movie. If you go like if you go too far in getting into the kid's head, he's read every Batman like it's nuts how much he knows. It's not all
he also
just
knows
comic
things
stuff
that you didn't know, and those things that I didn't know that we had to point out to each other.
That's right. So that's
he
nuts.
knows about the history of the Gremlins lore.
But yeah, this is a Barbara Gordon who is...
He writes strong female characters. I'll give the kid that.
This is a Barbara Gordon that becomes the commissioner before she's Batgirl. There are all kinds of like really strange choices like that just work.
Okay.
And it's really cool.
Since you said that, I will say the thing that I was going to say about Barbara Gordon.
Yeah.
Because I don't know why I thought it would be a spoiler that she becomes Batgirl, because that's on the poster.
It's on the poster.
I think they made an amazing case. I kind of didn't want her to be Batgirl at the end of this movie.
Yeah.
I kind of didn't want her to be Batgirl. I was like, no, you can do this without being Batgirl.
Yeah.
Especially because it seemed to kind of drop the plot thread of, well, we can do this by the book, like within the bounds of the law. I kind of wanted her to not be Batgirl. Somebody
left a comment after they saw this movie before I had a chance to, and said, Cap, this movie was made for you. It's not. It's made for my kid. It's made for Jason. Michael Jackson in the first 6 seconds. It was nuts how much of a movie for my son this was.
Did he go crazy for the Despicable Me 3 trailer?
No, he didn't.
That's good.
I don't know why you're asking that question right now.
Because it's all Michael Jackson music.
Oh, well, he got excited about that, but he always does, just if that's playing. But anyway, like I said, this is the reverse character arc and, character flaw from Emmett's in the Lego movie, which I think works really well. You've got, and of course was established in the first movie, like, that I wouldn't have thought of this watching that movie, which, when that first came out, I thought it was going to rely way too much on Batman, and appreciate that it didn't, so that kind of helped to warrant this movie, I think, where I wouldn't have thought this watching it, but you've got a guy there that is ripe to like go through a character arc and learn something.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
He's so narcissistic, and is again the exact opposite of that protagonist, where he's got all of the confidence, and he's got all of the the creativity, and he's but what he's lacking is friendship and family, and that's what Emmett has. But Emmett lets that and the rest of the world define him, and Batman is the opposite of that. He completely defines himself and goes too far in that direction. That was really obvious there, and I never compared them until this came out.
I didn't realize this until I was listening to you talk about it.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about it. This movie's kind of the Kid BoJack Horseman, which I know you haven't seen, but it's the same guy who does Lego Batman. it's kind of the same character at the beginning of this movie. Where like,
oh, that's interesting.
It's more depressed and adult, but he's famous and alone and depressed and was famous. It's a very similar character. I think he's found his niche of the characters that he plays. Voices.
One of the things that's really baffling to me is how completely self-aware this movie is, and how it's perfectly willing to make fun of all of Batman's screen history and Warner's in general, and that's the same studio that's doing the DC Extended Universe right now. It is fascinating to me that studio is letting something like this come out with the way they've been handling their live-action movies.
Although there's no pot shots at those movies.
But that's because they're too new.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like, there wasn't really a chance to do much with BVS.
Although I will say there was something in the trailer where we thought there was going to be a BVS joke. And we were like, they already did it!
I mean, there sort of is, but it's not... It's not actually, like, criticizing that movie at all.
It's just...
it's just there. There's one criticism I have is there's a, and I'll talk about this on Sunday, but there's a thing with Man of Steel that I think they should have done, and was a little bit surprised it wasn't there. But we have, weirdly, the beginning of a potentially really successful shared universe. Because, I mean, like...
They did it! Way to go, Warner Brothers!
Essentially what
you finally did
it! They've made a good shared universe, and they're doing Ninjago at the end of this year. I didn't know that.
So
it looks really funny. I didn't care about that, and then I saw the trailer and it looks great.
And now you have to own all the Ninjagos.
No, I don't. But I almost wrote that on my board. I do want every set from this movie. Oh my god. Jason's got the Speedwagon. He got that for Christmas, and I can't wait to put that together now.
I was waiting for a joke of it being called the REO Speedwagon.
I know, it never happened. It never happened. I'll mention a couple of other things real quick, because we're going to talk about this on Sunday. This...
surprise.
As we said, it parodies everything. I was especially impressed with the score. There's so much rises in it, and it's hilarious. Like how super self-serious like faux self-serious it is in a lot of places. And that gets hysterical. I will listen to the score because I think it's really cool. My main criticism is potty humor. There's not a ton of it, but what was there I didn't need. And
which we talked about in the car. I also had.
I didn't like that. That is, oh, one more thing I should mention, and then we'll talk about this on Sunday, but this was not this movie's fault, but there were some jokes that would have hit me harder and been funnier to me if Return of the Caped Crusaders had not come out last year.
I had the exact same thing. There was a couple of jokes where I'm like, this would have been a lot funnier if Return of the Caped Crusaders didn't come out. The onomatopoeia words.
Yeah.
That's a big like build up, and I was like, yeah, I just saw that a couple months ago. And there was another one. I don't remember what it was, but there was a couple of jokes. I was like, yeah, Return of the Caped Crusaders did that.
Yeah. And when we saw that, I was like, oh, the Lego Batman movie has kind of a run for its money now, because that was such a good satire for. This is better, but
I agree, but I wasn't sure if
they're somewhat different things. I feel like I would go back to this more. I mean, it's a laugh more often, but that's also, again, a somewhat different thing. But they're both deconstructing Batman in really fresh ways, and because we cannot get away from doing that with this character, it's really fun to see it done like this, as like, you know, playful and in totally reinventing him, because he's obviously not really Batman, still talking about all of what Batman really is. And that's really cool. The big question in this is whether or not Batman counts as a hero, and that so works. Anyway, so I'm very excited to talk about it in more depth later on. But that is, I think, going to be it for us today, unless there's anything else you wanted to mention.
I don't think so.
Thanks for watching, folks. We sure appreciate it, and we will see you on Sunday. I don't know how big of a panel we're going to have. It may just be me and you. We'll see if we can get a couple of other people with us. But in the meantime, thanks a lot for watching. We will get to all of the other How We Felt Abouts and other videos that we need to put up as soon as humanly possible. And in the meantime, I am Captain Logan.
And I'm Eric.
Thanks for watching.